Okay, well, we're going to get straight into it. Super excited to have you. So, you are releasing a new EP called Masquerade on April 22nd. Congrats. So, on social media, you spoke about how the EP is the bridge and continuum between both sides of who you are. Can you explain a little bit more about those two sides of you?
Yes. So, in this process of creating these songs and writing about more personal things this time around for me, and kind of processing what it means to take off that masquerade. I think we all have things that we hide behind sometimes. For me, it looks a lot like a smiling face, like everything's all together, and there's always so much more kind of going on underneath the surface. And in my learning about all of that in the past couple of years, I've sort of discovered this duality of these two sides of who I am that exist. There's like the introvert, the reflective songwriter who likes the quiet and who's kind of shy and sits there and creates these songs. And then there's like this fierce side of myself that gets kind of fiery when I get on stage and comes to life holding a guitar in my hands and feeling like this more confident version of myself. And both of those things exist at the same time, and it's messy, and it's kind of like just trying to navigate how to do that. And the songs for me are my way of figuring that out, and I hope that these songs can be a comfort for anybody else who feels like they have kind of two sides of themselves as well. And it's two sides of ourselves, and it's also just like the light and the dark, optimism and realism, like just kind of balancing all of those things, you know?
I love that. And I would assume that kind of relates to why you chose the title Masquerade, but I want to hear you kind of dive more into choosing that name for your EP.
Yeah, the name actually came from the second verse in a song called Villain in Me. And as I was writing Villain in Me, I was like, I can't believe I'm just saying this stuff in a song. I'd never really done that before up to that point. And there's a line in the verse that says, "You'll only see me laughing, sunshine and a smiling face. Sometimes I wear it like a mask. It's easier that way." And that became this jumping off point for this thematic vision of what masquerades means to me, of actually being brave enough to like take down that mask sometimes. And I think, you know, it has been incredibly encouraging to me. Like, I shared a video of what Villain in Me started out as. I literally just sat on the floor and played it on my guitar, and hearing from people's comments and sharing the song from that point is the entire reason why we're here today, because their encouragement was so wonderful to me, and also just made me feel like, wow, we actually all feel the same way in a lot of ways. And like, I think it's important to put a voice to those things that are kind of harder to have a conversation about. And it definitely gave me the courage to kind of keep digging in this season of music. So I'm so grateful for everybody who's just been supporting this new personal frontier of music for me.
Love that. And I love that you have the voice to be able to speak about it. I think it brings confidence to everybody everywhere. And that's why it's really important when people listen to your music. So you kind of touched on, you know, the guitar, and I see you have it right next to you.
Yeah.
When did you learn to play, and how often do you feel like you're using it?
So I actually learned to play, I think I was around 14. My grandparents got me my first guitar, and I started to learn a couple of chords and realized which ones sounded okay together, and it could help me put music to the pages in my journals that I'd been writing. And playing the guitar is the entire kind of starting line of songwriting for me, which I'm so grateful for. So I'm picking this thing up constantly. I play it all the time when I'm home. I feel like the most comfortable when it's in my arms. So but I do this thing where I like to make the guitars a time capsule for the album and the music that I'm working on. And we did one for the lemonade stand, and my friend Louis Lavoie, who's an amazing artist, like painted all the symbols and lyrics that I wanted to kind of represent that window. And so I've been working on this Sunrise kind of masquerades guitar as well. So we just got it tattooed with some new artwork, and plenty of room for some more things that'll be on the kind of part 2 of these EPs called Silver Linings. So lots more new music and guitar doodling to come.
I love it. Is there a certain piece on that artwork that you maybe like more than others? Because I see a lot of
There's a lot. Every song is kind of represented on here in lyric form or in a symbol. This guitar and I now have, I don't know if you can see with the glare, but we've got matching tattoos. So I actually just got that tattoo on my arm as well. And so I wanted it to be on the guitar too. It kind of represents the heart on the sleeve, the setting down the masquerade, and kind of just letting the wildflowers grow right out of the top of who we are. So that's the symbol for that one. And yeah, I still just keep staring at it. Like, he did such an amazing job. It's really fresh paint, so I'm excited.
No, it's so cute. And I love, like, the tattoo is so cute too. I never knew that. So that's great.
Thanks. Yeah, I got this a couple weeks ago. I also keep staring at this. I'm like, it's still on my arm. Yep, it's right there.
The question is, did it hurt though? Or how was the pain?
It actually didn't hurt as bad as I thought it might. So thank goodness for that. I noticed that it was happening. It wasn't completely pain-free, but it didn't hurt too bad.
That's good. Okay, so on your Instagram, you shared a snippet of one of the new songs called Shared Walls, featuring your friend Breland. How was that overall collab?
Oh, I love Breland so much. I've been such a fan of his music and his career, and I just think his voice and perspective are so important in our music community. And I was kind of cheering from afar, and then I had this song that I wrote about neighbors and about kind of feeling closer to my neighbors through this entire pandemic, of like all of our apartments stacked on top of each other and feeling closer to neighbors around the whole world. And I was dreaming of how cool it would be to sing this song as like a neighborly duet. And at the top of my list was like, oh, it'd be so cool to sing this with Breland. So I reached out to him. He's just got the best joyful spirit, and it's been really fun to get to know him through this process. He can do anything. Like, his music's so versatile. I feel like we're all gonna just be like rocking out at his show, jumping up and dancing, and then he'll just sing this song, and he's got this incredibly vulnerable, beautiful voice. And he sent the stems over for the verse that he sang on Shared Walls, and I just melted. I had so many goosebumps listening to him sing it. So it's really a joy to get to do this song together with him. It's one of my favorite moments so far in this music world, and definitely on this EP.
Awesome. And that song is great. I'm excited to hear what else you guys put out, because you feel the vibes, and that's always the best.
Good.
Best thing. So far, what is your favorite song off the EP and why?
I mean, they're all part of the tapestry of the whole theme, and I it's so hard to like pick one of your little children on of the song babies on an album. But there's another song called When You Need It that I got to record with my friend Rabel, and we'd never met before the pandemic, but we wrote together on Zoom throughout the entire shutdown, and we've probably written over 20 songs together. But and he's become one of my best friends, and writing with him was like one of the brightest silver linings of the past couple of years. And the very first song we ever wrote is When You Need It, and I feel like it's a song about friendship, and I love that song marks the beginning of our friendship. And there's a song called The Sound of Being Alone that's one of my favorites too. It's very moody and kind of like represents the insanity that I was feeling, literally going crazy in my house by myself. So that one holds a special place in my heart too.
Okay, and then with festival season coming around, can fans expect you to perform any of these songs live at any shows in the summer?
Definitely. I mean, that was such a part of the creative process, was me imagining how we were all going to sing these songs together, and like what it was going to feel like with the choir of all of us. So I definitely put some like woes and some fun sing-along parts in a few of these songs, and I'm really, really excited to get to include them in our set. We've been trying them out live over the past couple of months, just being like, here's a new song that I have recorded but haven't really shared anywhere yet, and I want to see what you guys think. And it's been really fun to hear from people in messages over the past few months like, oh, when are you putting that one out that we heard at this show? So I'm really excited to be standing at that spot now. It feels good.
Great feeling. And then lastly, since we are Celeb Secrets, can you share any behind the scenes secrets from making the record that we wouldn't know by just listening to it?
Ooh, you probably wouldn't know that I got a puppy in the middle of the process, and that I definitely was like stopping my vocal recording tapes, like trying to like move his toy onto the carpet so that it wouldn't show up in the recording. I feel like I was like, Sam, can you just chill out for a minute? And he's like sitting there whining. There's probably like some tucked in little features of my dog Sam in the process of recording this album.
That's so funny. I can definitely relate. My dog is always following me around and wants to sit and be like right next to me.
Yes, which is so sweet. I love it. But I'm like, hey, can you just sit like right here though?
Right. I'm like, I'm trying to record a song real quick. Just a few seconds. What type of dog do you have?
He's a little terrier mix. I'm not really sure what he is. He's a combination of a bunch of things, but he's all cuteness.
Aw, that's so cute.
What about your dog?
He's an American Eskimo, so he's this big white fluffy dog that loves to cuddle up under us. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Dogs are the best. They're just
the best. I agree.